Hey guys, Shane of Fugatech 3D Printing, and welcome to vlog. I believe it's number 26. So these are going good. Again, I've decided to kind of do these as needed, but I want to keep them at least pretty regular, probably every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks. Every week is a little much, but this week I have a lot to update you guys on. I'm going to be going on traveling for the next 2 weeks, so I'm not going to be able to do any vlogs, so get things updated where we are. Some mail came in. A lot of people are asking about the Cube 3 project, so I'm going to share all that information right now. Probably should note, I've already been filming for a while, but this is going to be a long video. So if you guys don't want to watch the long video, this is not one for you. Down below there will be links to each section of the video in case you're interested in one section or another. So please feel free to click to a section that more interests you, but my vlogs tend to be longer. This one's probably close to about 30 minutes. So sorry, but I like to make these. I like to ramble on as I'm doing right now. But enjoy, use the links if you want to. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Welcome back. So let's talk first about the Cube 3. If you guys follow me on social media or in the Logitech 3D printing group, that's pretty much where I live when it comes to Facebook groups. I don't do much in the 3D printing group because that group is different. But anyways, YouTube took down my Cube 3 filament mod video for about, 6-7 hours, something like that. It was a few hours. And they said, you know, I could petition. But anyways, they took it down. And I was like, what the hell? Like, what's going on? I'm using stuff that's free and open on the internet. You can Google or search YouTube Cube 3 filament hack and see what comes up. And there are a ton of videos out there of people doing the cartridge swap is one of the main ones. And other ones that are doing the firmware mod, but they're not telling you how they do it. I think they did it out of fear. I found the filament mod online. I decided to make a video to show you guys how to do it, and that exploded. So I'm so glad that so many people like that. I'm glad I could share the information and show you guys how to use it. I was a little confused when I first found it, so I'm hoping the video kind of helps you out. But since I showed you how to do the filament mod and mod your firmware, now people are asking, well, how are you actually introducing the filament into it? And I'm working on that process now. I have my setup right now. I don't like it entirely, so I'm still working to figure things out. I did get another Cube 3 cartridge in. I was gonna, you know, how I do my unboxing with the stuff I get in the mail, I was gonna show that, but I wanted to get it on there right away, test things out, and I'm testing with that. I'm working on how to change out their little PTFE tubing with something better, with some push fittings possibly. I have 2 different ways I plan on doing this, and I don't know which one I'm going to end up going with. I might go one of each. You know, I'll show you guys both. I have 3 cartridges that I can mod. One I've already modded. I have 2 others that are actively on the Cube 3 right now. Another thing I'm working on Cube 3 is Simplify 3D Profile. I found on the same forum that I found the firmware mod, I found someone who is working on Simplify 3D. Very cool. Very awesome project. Basically, you slice something to a DTD or TDTR file, something like that, and it makes a G-code as well. You take that DTR, DTD file, you drag it onto a little program that you put on your flash drive, and it will convert that to a .cube 3, and then you can print it. The problem now is actually getting a profile that works well with the Cube 3. They have 2 sample profiles on there. They say work in project. They clearly are, because they are horrendous. I mean, over extrusion and all kinds of just badness going on. So I'm working on going through those settings. The only problem is when testing these things on the Cube 3, it takes forever to make your modification, change it up convert it to the Cube 3 file, put it on the flash drive, put it in, reheat the machine, restart it, because like you can't have the Cube 3 just stay hot like you would on any of the other, anything running Marlin or Repetier. It doesn't stay hot, so it cools down. You have to wait. You can't do anything till it cools down because it's very safe, and I can appreciate that, but I cannot appreciate what I'm trying to do here, and that's get Simplify 3D working well. That is something that I'm working on that will not be complete anytime soon because I just don't have the time to allocate just to that project. And let's talk about the elephant in the room. That would be my wall mount PC. That is coming around fantastic. I've done the first 2 videos, which was my hardware introduction and the time-lapse build. Time-lapse came out horrible. I did 1 photo every 10 seconds, and it was literally like 20-30 seconds of video. Like, I was like, oh crap. So I kind of extended it to be a minute. So each picture is up for, I don't know, half a second. I mean, it clips through pretty well, and I put in just kind of what I'm doing. People ask, I was going to narrate the whole thing, but it is way too short to do that. So when I do the next time lapse of the water cooling, I'm going to do one photo every second, possibly narrated, or I would just add in the different pieces I am adding in. We'll see how that goes, but I clearly know that the time lapse did not come out well, and I'm happy that it did because I get to learn from that issue and I can build myself. So again, it's all trial and error. I'm doing all this for the first time really, and having the GoPro time lapse myself and narrating over it is new to me, so hopefully I'll be able to figure that out. So you see it sitting here. It's hooked up to my triple radiator stand that I made, years ago as a little project when I was doing a lot of water cooling and I was doing a lot of computer mods. Fugatech mods was my website and things like that. If you guys want to check out my past projects, that stuff's down below. There's some stuff in the history of my Facebook page when I did a little bit of that. But again, that wasn't very big. Facebook has gotten much bigger for me now. I think I'm like over 500, maybe almost 600 people like my page now. So that's growing. The YouTube channel is growing, obviously. So I'll walk you through kind of what's going on over here. All right, guys, so here it is. This is going to be my wall mount PC. I've gotten pretty far in it so far. You see we have the dual 270X Tosix on it. CPU is already watered up. RAM is ready to go for now. I'm not really doing anything with that yet. It's more enough to cool it. I'm not doing any overclocking or anything yet, but that's really cool. Radiator is going to go here with the reservoir mounted on top of it. I just have a regular old spin drive here until my solid state comes in. But as you see, this kind of crazy hookup all the way down here to this big sucker. Now this is my Fugatech Mods radiator stand. So a buddy of mine at White Light Laser Engraving made these grills for me, and inside there are 9 Yatloon 120 millimeter fans, and right here we have some, I think these are Logseas filters, so anything it pulls in I can just pull these off and wash them off and it goes great. But you see the wiring there is quite crazy, but it works out really well. It is a little loud, but I've actually mounted this like up on a shelf before and had this like up out of the way, running these tubes down, and all I have to do is hook them into any computer, and I have complete water cooling. There's a pump and reservoir right there. It's short, but hey, it works out. It's like 120 millimeters, but it works out absolutely great. And for just cooling my CPU for now, while I do some benchmark testing and see how everything is rolling, it works out great. So again, I hope you guys enjoy this little sneak peek of what soon will become my wall mount PC, which is going to go right here, and it's going to look fan-freaking-tastic. But it's coming out great. I'm having a fun time working on it. I have found several things that were wrong, but I'm going to leave all the talking about that to those videos. I don't want to include it in here. I just want to let you guys know that I'm working on it. You will see videos over the next month about it, but I have more parts on order because I was missing a few things and I didn't take into account a few other things. So a couple little parts I had to order in. They'll be here in the next few weeks, and then I will continue filming that series. And speaking of the Cube 3, if you guys watched that video at the very end, I told you I'm going to be giving a Cube 3 away. When I hit 2,000 subscribers, I need to blow my nose. I'm going to give away a Cube 3 3D printer. I have it sitting right here underneath my desk, ready to go, but I got to hit 2,000 subscribers first. So what it's going to do is when I hit that mark, I'm going to start a Gleam competition. It'll run for 7 days. And it'll be the same as I normally do. Like the Facebook page, be a subscriber, watch a couple videos, and you'll get a couple entries. You can do those daily to give people lots of chances to win. I hope in this one, I mean, every competition I do has been bigger and bigger. Giving away 3D printers is kind of a big deal. So I hope everyone participates, and I hope people, if you're not subscribed, subscribe down below so I can do that competition. I'm on track to be there in about a month, but if we can do it faster than that, that would be amazing. I've noted a few times here that I'm traveling for work, and that is correct. I leave next Monday, so this video will come out probably on Thursday or Friday this week, maybe Saturday, somewhere around there, depending on how long it takes me to edit this and all that. But it's going to come out, and I leave on Monday, and I'll be gone for 2 weeks, and I've been working to record a bunch of videos to get things ready to go. So I do have videos that will be planned to publish automatically throughout the next 2 weeks. Not this week, but the next 3 weeks, I guess. And those will all publish, and then I will get back to creating content when I return. So it's going to be fun. It's a long trip to get back to the States, though. I'm not really looking forward to the flights, but hey, I'll be back in America. I can't really complain, and it'll be a fun time. All right, if you guys have a spouse, if you have a boyfriend or girlfriend, significant other, partner, and you do 3D printing, you have to 3D print for them. Otherwise, it's not going to go well for you. Trust me. So occasionally my wife says, hey, I like this thing. Can you make it for me? So thankfully, this time I was able to make something for her. And I made this little phone stand, and it is just a little elephant, just something simple. She found a little dinosaur that she thought was cute. And she said, is there anything like this? I said, well, an elephant and a pink elephant. I have pink filament, so why not? And it works out rather well. You know, I can just kind of sit it here. Hope you can see that. And it holds the phone well. It's stable enough. She just wanted something little. It holds it upright and vertical, vertical and horizontal I should say. But it can't really well. This was printed on the Monoprice Select Mini using Hatchbox Pink PLA. Print time was, 2.5 hours, 3 hours, something like that with 10% infill. It doesn't need to be very heavy simply because there's so much weight on the back and the phone leans backwards. So it's a very nice model. It's very cool. If you guys want to print it, be down below. You know, I can definitely think of some girlfriends, wives, or children that might like a little pink elephant phone holder. Other prints, you can see this suspicious looking print here. I know people are gonna comment about that, but this is actually a Russian rocket, which has been coming. My printer decided it was going to clean right now. Shh. So here we have a Russian rocket, more specifically a Soviet Union rocket, and this is actually the first intercontinental rocket that the Soviet Union had developed back for, I believe it was for the Cold War. I forget the actual name of it, but I'll put the model down below. I'll actually put the fixed model down below because the model is horrendous. Each one of these parts, so it comes in various parts, like so here, is comprised of anywhere between 200 and I think like 2,000 shells. And if you watch any of Angus's videos on intersecting shells, it's a very bad thing when it comes to 3D printing. And some of these aren't even intersecting. They are just literally stuck to the side and they don't actually intersect or join with the actual model. So my first few prints out of this came out really bad. But I have a buddy of mine, I believe that was Kyle or William in the Fugatech 3D printing group, excellent with, you know, design and with fixing things. They helped me out quite a bit. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 6 parts of the actual full-size model, which is actually 7 parts, but the stand came out like crap when I tried to print it, and I'm probably not going to reprint it because I don't like the stand at all. But this will be pretty cool on its own, and this obviously will go on the bottom once I print out part 6. This is part 7 to join those together. This is part 6 that will join part 5 here at the bottom, join everything together. It stands about 500 millimeters tall in total once it's complete. It's a very cool model. I really like the design went into it, was great, but he needed to do more work into it, but it is fixed. I'll put that down below if you guys want to print it, but I'm just printing it for a friend at work. They said they would like to have something like this, so why not? And in other prints, I went ahead and printed out these pieces right here. So these are for bending the PETG tubing, that is the hard tubing for the water cooling in my Workbench PC build. And this one is a 180, so it'll take you either a rounded 180 or a more squared 180. And here we have, this one is a 90 degree, a 135 degree, and I forget what this angle here is, 45 maybe? That one is, doesn't say. But this is for 10 and 12 millimeter tubing. So if you end up getting that, I'll put a link for these down below. You can buy the actual parts from Primochill for like, I don't know, 50 bucks, something like that. Or you can print them out for $1 out of filament. And the last thing with prints, I want to take a look at the difference here. I'm not sure if you guys can see the color difference in the two of these, but this is MakerGeek's like white, some super white, and this is Inland white. Vast different. I mean, the white from MakerGeeks is almost ivory white, and the white from Inland is a very true white. It almost looks gray on the spool actually. It's very weird for how white it is. It kind of messes with your eyes a little bit. So just kind of a difference if you guys are looking for different filaments, different colors. Just know that they vary quite significantly between vendors because everyone has their own mix of how they make their colors or absence of color if someone wants to get technical with me. But anyways, these were cool. These are awesome. I cannot wait to start modding and working on the water cooling part of that build. And speaking of the MakerGeeks PLA, I've noticed a significant issue with trying to print with that on the FT5 with the Titan extruder and the E3D V6 hot end. It jams almost all the time. I can't figure out what in the world the problem is. But I take the exact same roll, I stick it on the Monoprice Select Mini, and it's almost flawless. Now there are a few skipped layers, not skipped layers, but under extruded layers, so clearly they don't have the greatest size differential. You really need to calibrate your slicer for the size that you're getting, so take several measurements, several feet into the roll, into your print, to ensure that you're getting, you know, accurate extrusion. But it literally just totally clogs on there. I ranked the thing up to 240 degrees Fahrenheit, or centigrade, sorry, and it still clogged. What the heck? And I even tried slowing it down to like wicked slow speeds. Like we're talking 20 millimeters a second for PLA from the normal 100 that I set my slicer as. Still jammed up. I've decided to stop using MakerGeeks on the FT5. It is just not working out. I'm gonna try it once I get the Geeetech back running again, or the Delta, try running more of it in there, seeing how it works with those Titan extruders, which are the knockoff knockoffs, not the real Titan extruder that is on my FT5. So that is just something to note. A lot of people complained about MakerGeeks filament. A lot of people rave about MakerGeeks PLA filament. Your mileage may vary, so make sure you test everything out, but I'm going to be doing some more testing with it, and eventually I'll be doing a review overall of them as a company, as a filament, as a service provider of the 3D Geek box. That's to come in the future. Nail time! I have here a stepper motor, and I am fairly certain that this is actually the right size stepper motor. Fairly certain, because it says NEMA 17. It says that. It truly does. So this is a NEMA 17 pancake stepper motor. Very, very short body. Let's see if it fits in the mount. Okay, here I have the Franken shuttle stepper motor with a doggone cable. Kind of gets in the way there. So I'll have to fiddle around with this, but that fits in there just nice. And this will then get mounted, and this goes into the Franken shuttle. This is just like the front mount plate for the Franken shuttle. And that's gonna be a video I hope to do this week before I leave for my work trip. I really want to get that swapped out to the Franken shuttle so I can test out this smaller stepper motor, the larger stepper motor with the V6 and the standard V6 and the volcano nozzle. Be able to do different things by swapping them out really, really quick and easy. So we'll see how that goes, but I hope to do this soon. But anyways, at least I finally got what seems to be the correct stepper motor this time. But please, if you guys are shopping for this stuff, make sure you buy the right thing. I will put this model down below in the video description so you guys can make sure you buy the right one as well. All right, for the Hypercube, I got some of these. These are Derlin anti-backlash square nuts. I plan on doing the build plate on that just a little bit different, seeing as how these are gonna hook up directly to the side of the aluminum extrusion, which is gonna be the framework of my Z-axis bed. You can see there's two nice big M5 holes on there, and those will slap right onto the side of the extrusion. And here we have the thread for a lead screw, and it's a 4-start lead screw. I've already received one. I don't know if I'm gonna end up doing 2 lead screws or 1, but I have one just standalone lead screw, which I should probably grab and show you. So I did get this. This is a 350 millimeter lead screw, 4-start, I believe they're called. It's a tight fit off the bat. It needs to be worked in a little bit. Yeah, see, there's some coming out of it, but it's very smooth. It's very tight. There is zero play in this whatsoever compared to anything else. It actually came with an anti-backlash nut and spring, and that still has a fair bit of wiggle in it. But with this, there is no wiggle whatsoever. So I'm unsure if I'm going to run a single lead screw going up and the bed coming off the front, or if I'm gonna have one lead screw on each side connected with both of them with an anti-backlash nut to make it nice and smooth, nice and quiet, and have dual Z-axis motors, the same as the FT5 has. It'll just be the extruder will move in a Core XY style. But this is cool. Again, more stuff is coming in for this Hypercube build. I'm hoping to kind of start it like early June, like the month of June. I'm really hoping to film a whole bunch, get everything built with it and play with it some, and then start releasing the videos. I want to get it all built really quick. I'll be basically a geographic bachelor. My wife will be back in the States, and which I actually have an announcement for that. But she'll be back in the States with all the kids. I'm gonna be here by myself with really nothing to do except feed myself and go to work. Life can't get much easier than that. So being able to just spend a whole bunch of time down here doing a lot of building, a lot of video making, lots of time lapses and things I work on, and then doing editing and uploading things as I can, that would definitely be a huge help in order to get that project done in a significant amount of time, well, and I guess in a quick amount of time, but then release content as I have time to, and kind of spread it out a little bit. Speaking of announcements, I haven't said it on here before. If you're a friend with me on Facebook or you follow my Facebook page, my personal page, you'll know that we're expecting baby number 4. Yay! Date is early July, so I'm gonna be leaving to head back to the States, probably like last week of June-ish, something like that. Be home for 6 weeks. So another reason why I want to get a lot of the filming done is because I want to get as much as I can done in June and kind of slow the pace down so that I can still post new content during those 6 weeks that I'm back in the States, because I'm clearly not going to be doing anything new. I'm not going to have my printers or anything. I might do some Simplify 3D videos while I'm back there with just audio, or maybe a couple vlogs, or just talking with, I'll take my smaller camera with me or my DSLR. I'm unsure what I'll do yet. But I don't know if I'll be actually creating any new content while I'm home doing that, because that's really going to be home time, new baby time, taking the kids out, going to amusement parks, things like that, the fun things in life to deal with your small kids. And I really love doing that. It'll be a fun summer for me, a long vacation, well deserved, I think. I don't know if other people think that, but hey, it'll be a good vacation. But again, I want to make sure that there is still content coming onto the channel, new content for you guys to view. So I'll be working really hard from like mid-May to the end of June to get as much as I can recorded and made, and then have you guys have lots of new content to view. Okay, so the new GoPro that I got, I printed out a little frame for it, which is horrendous. I actually had to use some blue painter's tape on it in order to keep it in, which is really ghetto. I mean, it basically falls right out. So all of the models, this is the third style that I printed for the Hero 4, suck. Every single one of them. So I went ahead onto Amazon and picked up a new frame like I have for the other one, and these are just absolutely fantastic because your GoPro just slides right in, clip it down, it is super tight, there's no coming out whatsoever. It's great. These are fantastic little clips. I'll put these down below. They're super cheap. I think they're $10. It is the absolute best thing ever to get good audio out of your GoPro if you don't plan on getting it wet. And I don't always have the waterproof case on mine. I'll just use a selfie stick on here when I'm recording the kids, taking it down, doing movements, running over top of them, holding out in front of us as we're going down slides and stuff like that. You want to get decent audio out of it without spending a crap ton of money on a external microphone. The frame is the way to go because you get semi-decent audio. It's not fantastic, but you get semi-decent with this frame on. Oh, what do we got here? These are USB extension cables, 6 foot. Oh yeah, so these are for the workbench PC, just in order to bring some of my USBs down to the front of me. I still need to buy a PCIe USB 3.0 card for the workstation. I have one upstairs in my gaming PC, but I need to buy one for this because it only has 2 powered USB 2.0 on the back and 2 USB 3.0 on the back. That's it, because it's an overclocking motherboard. It is not a really like workstation style motherboard, and I need more ports on that. And in order also to have more ports, this one here, this is an Amazon Basics USB hub, which was fairly cheap, but it has tons of great reviews, and it's got a lot. Oh hell, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 USB 2.0 slots. Now apparently you can run it 2 ways. It uses a standard, you know, what's the USB B type, the printer one that you use for your 3D printers, that kind of cable in here, and it has a 5-volt DC port on it, so you can power things with this and charge things up using this as well. Or if you just have it hooked up to this, it just acts as a USB hub. This one I believe works with multiple USBs plugged in at once, so that's really good. Some of the ones out there only work with 1 item per time, especially the multi-card ones, where it has USB ports and then a bunch of like media cards up top. It can only view 1 of those at a time. I believe this one can do multiple though, which is why I bought it. Pretty sure we'll find out once I get it installed. But I needed more USB ports for that, and this will definitely help out. Here it is. Finally, it came in after, God, almost 60 days from China. This is the GT2560 board that's going to replace the Slogo Uno Sanguino Luno crap board that's on the Geeetech i3. That board is horrendous. This one is much better. They say this is kind of the combination of a ramps board and an Ultimaker board. Bold claims, very bold claims, Geeetech, but we will see how that ends up going. But this has like ports for an actual extruder fan so that it's controlled. You don't have to mod your printer in order to get it working. It has everything on here for that. It has these nice huge heat sinks on all the MOSFETs. None of the ones on the Slogo Uno have any heat sinks on them. Actually, most boards that I see don't have any heat sinks on the MOSFETs, but this does, which is fantastic. So it shows that they did put a lot more quality into this, and I'm happy to finally have it. But it does come at kind of a bad time because I just lost that PSU on the Geeetech. So you saw me like replace it like 2 months ago. Yeah, it died again. So clearly buying cheap ones is not a good idea. I'm definitely gonna spend more than 20 bucks on a power supply now. Right now I have 2 printers, the Geeetech and the Delta, running off of an 850 watt power supply, a workstation power supply. No, a 650. It was 800. It's running off a 650 watt power supply for both printers. Handles them both without problem, but that is my current setup because the power supply for the D-Force Mini died, power supply for the Geeetech died. I'm kind of noticing a trend in these Chinese kits, guys. So the power supplies do die quite frequently, and be sure you have spares or another means to power your printer. This is cool. Gonna install this probably when I get back from work. I cannot wait to get started with this. Almost there. We got right here a new Logitech keyboard and mouse, fully wireless, and this is gonna be for, obviously, the workbench PC. I wanted to eliminate as many cables as I could because I need the USB ports for other things, and especially again on this motherboard there's not that many to begin with, so I can't waste them on things like keyboard and mouse. So this was 50 bucks on Amazon, something like that, but it has excellent reviews. It looks really comfortable. It'll be nice for me for typing and things like that, a lot of the work I do down here. This is the MK550 Comfort Wave. High reviews on Amazon. we'll see how it turns out. Filament. So we've got some Zyltech. That says anything for you. This is a newer company. They've been selling on eBay for quite a while. They have a website up now. The owner, I guess, has made himself very present in the Fugatech 3D printing group. I don't know about the regular 3D printing group, but he's even created a coupon code for anyone in the Fugatech 3D printing group. So that's very nice of him to offer. Basically, that you buy like 4 or 5 rolls and you get free shipping. And it's a discount. It gives you discount to the rolls, and he offers $50 free shipping, or $49 since 4 rolls comes to $49, and instead of buying a 5th roll just to get free shipping, he just lowered it down $1, which is cool of him. So we've got all kinds of different colors. I've got red, clear, PLA, which I'd never seen before. I thought that would be kind of cool to try. Orange and a white, all in PLA. So this is going to be, again, this was kind of a, I bought this type of deal, so I bought all 4 of these rolls with my own money. This was not sent to me by them for a review, but I will be doing a review of this filament because it is very popular right now. It is very cheap. I want to say like right around $10 or $12 a roll, right around there with Logitech Filament. But this is using the smaller rolls, which I do have quite a problem with, and I need to design a new spool holder for the FT5 to account for these small fat rolls. I don't like them, but it is what it is. It's cheap filament, so you kind of really can't argue against it unless it sucks. Man, my allergies are killing me today. First day, my God. Ugh. Alright, and finally we've got not only 1, 2, 24-inch Asus monitors. I actually have these upstairs on my gaming PC. Fantastic monitors for like 125 bucks, 127, something like that. Fantastic monitors. I really like them. They're super lightweight, and these are going to be mounted onto my dual monitor stand on the desk. Probably in one of the next, will probably be done for the next vlog you guys see by the time I get around to actually filming that, but currently all the other videos have already been filmed, obviously. So anyways, but these are, I mean, great monitors, I think, for the price. You can't really beat 24 inches for $127 with free shipping on Amazon. And they came without problem, which is great. So clearly they can make it 6,000 miles and the box is still be in good shape. Now we'll find out once I boot them up, make sure they are still good, but I'm a happy camper. All right, Patreon question. So Shay is asking for me to cover print speed. So I am not intimately familiar with all the different print speeds that change with Simplify 3D. Every slicer changes your speed depending on what it's printing. But I will go over what I do know, and I hope to do some more research and learn more about other aspects of it, because jerk is a little bit of a new thing that I'm trying to learn and figure out the exact right jerk setting, because I'm still getting some ghosting in my printing, which has to do with acceleration and jerk speed. But let's start at the beginning. Print speed. In your slicer, you can set your print speed, and you can set that basically as high as you want to go. For things like the FT5 or Hyper Cubes or any Core XY build or Dbot builds, a lot of people set that to between 80 and 150 millimeters per second. That does not mean that you are printing the entire time between 80 and 100 millimeters per second. You are most likely printing much, much slower than that. A lot of things come into factor. So the very first one is your first layer settings. First layer settings should be very slow. Normally it is anywhere between 50 and 20% of your max speed. So if it's 100, you're only printing at between 20 millimeters a second and 50 millimeters a second, depending on what you set it at. It should be very slow. Your outside perimeters slow down with each one. The outside one ends up being whatever the max you set, and it will figure out the inner however many you have, but the outer one will be the slowest. And that's usually, I think, by default right around 60% of your speed. So again, if running off 100, that's only 60 millimeters a second to do your outside layers. Your infill also gets slowed down, and that can usually be anywhere between 60 and 80% is what I normally see in slicers by default and what people actually are setting it as. So you have to factor that in. You're printing only 60 to 80 millimeters a second. There's also more settings in your firmware that also could hinder what your max speed ends up being. Whether you're using Marlin or Repetier, it's different in each one, and I can't cite exactly what it is. I do know there are different settings in there. Your acceleration as well, how fast you're going to get up to a speed. Just realize that even though you say that your print speed is 80, 100, 150 millimeters a second, you are printing at that speed like 10% of the time, unless you turn a lot of things off. Oh, and with bridging also turns it down. It will, slow down or speed up your print time. When you have a layer that takes less than 15 seconds to complete, your slicer will slow it down again. So if you're doing really short prints, that's going to slow down quite a bit. If you're very small prints, you might set it for 150. You're definitely not going to print at that unless you uncheck that box. So a lot of things to realize when you actually consider what my max print speed is. I really wish that Marlin would show you on the screen what it's currently printing at. The Dynamo 3D was the only printer that I've seen to date that actually shows the actual active print speed. If there's other ones out there, I just don't know about them, but that's the only one that I've seen, and I saw that on Dustin's channel when he first got that printer a long time ago. So I hope that helps out Shay. I hope to do a separate Simplify 3D video just on print speeds and what it means when I learn more about it. But again, I'm still learning more about that, but from what I know, that's fairly accurate from what I've said. If there's other settings in there, again, jerk and acceleration, I still need to learn more about, and I'll get there eventually, but it just takes time to learn these things. All right guys, that wraps it up. So again, sorry this is a long video, but I like making these vlogs be longer. I like covering a lot of different things between mail, projects I'm working on, prints, things like that. So if you're this far, thanks for hanging in there. Be sure to subscribe if you want to have a chance to win the Cube 3 3D printer. At 2,000 subscribers, I'm going to start the contest. So please, subscribe down below so we can get that started. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked the video, give it a like. If you didn't, dislike button, let me know down below. Again, I know these vlogs run long, so thanks for bearing with me if you've made it this far. If you want to support the channel, subscribe down below, have a chance to win the 3D printer. If you want to support me out financially, there's going to be a Patreon link down below. Donate me $1 more. I greatly appreciate it. My current Patreons and everyone that's new that's been visiting the page and donating to me, thank you very much for your patronage. I appreciate it more than you can imagine. And again, I'm so surprised that people want to actually help me out. It's great. Another way to help me out is head on down below. There's going to be a bunch of affiliate links down there. Update your bookmarks. Do your daily shopping with those. That is a huge way to help out the channel. Everyone that uses that, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Again, it really does help out. So thank you guys for everything that you do. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, happy printing.